Good morning. Okay. I'm done with my morning routine, but I haven't had breakfast. I just have to finish this and then I'm done with the morning routine. I'm whispering because my husband's still asleep because he was up all night working, which is not healthy. But I always start my morning with goji berry, jujube, barley tea. So I just kind of you can still see some. I just boil everything together, and I think I added a little ginger, a piece of ginger in there today. Let me get my phone thing. But I laid out in the sun already. I did my lymphatic drainage. I did a little bit of exercise, like 5 minutes. And I'm just going to put on my sunscreen. And I just have this and comb my hair. I'm done. But there's no eggs, so you never want to have carbs for breakfast because that will set you up on a blood sugar roller coaster. So I'm like, just make some chicken wings. You have to have protein with your breakfast or else you're going to be like this all day long and you're just going to be eating and eating and eating and eating. So she's making sweet potato fries. I'm sorry, that's just so relaxing. I had to stop. She's making sweet potato fries and chicken wings because there's no eggs. So we definitely have to go to the store and get some eggs. It's so relaxing. My third eye, just get everything out of there, your intuition. And this also right here helps with your hormones, your endocrine system. Just stimulating the bone because as we age, we get bone loss, stimulating the gums. It's like making a noise. And I just have to put on some jewelry. Yes, this does not match, but I'm wearing it for like other reasons. I really hate the colors, but I didn't have any other crystals to program with frequencies. So I'm like, well, I'll just keep it on until I manifest what I'm trying to manifest. But I'm not into the black with white. Okay, right here. A little for you. In my ear, because that's where you have a lot of meridian points in the ear. I burned myself yesterday really bad. It's not that bad, but you can't see it, but I burned myself with the oven tray. And then this point right here is just for your gut, your spleen, kidney, liver. Yeah, healthy weight is so important as you age. And muscle mass. Obviously, muscle mass is really important. Okay, let me wash my mouth guard. I just need to soak it in hydrogen peroxide. Let me do that. So then I can just, what you recommend for weight loss? Just eating. So what I would do if I was trying to lose weight, I would definitely get myself a app that counts your calories, but then focus on real foods. Like try not to have as much processed, which I don't. Like, yes, we could buy pre-made freezer potatoes, for instance, but we don't because they add in all these ingredients and your liver has to process everything, and you don't want that. So you would want to do that. I would start my morning with ginger tea. If you have like water weight and bloat, I would definitely start doing moxa to start drying up some of that water, and maybe add there's a bean called Job's Tear. It's amazing. If you're somebody who feels really bloated, like almost like waterish, it's not like, you just feel like there's water retention. There's a bean, it's called Job's Tear. Job's Tear is really good at like drying it up. Now they have porridge form. I think the porridge form is easier. You just add water, and and yeah, my hair always looks better after it's been a little dirty. This is 3 days of not washing it. The first few days when I wash it, it's not as like nice. So Job's Tear, you don't want to have a lot of cold things because your spleen in Chinese medicine helps with metabolism, and the spleen hates anything cold. So like no dairy, dairy is cold in nature. And then I would add in for supplements, I would do like, of course, vitamin D is important, and always get that checked. If you're low, you can take like cod liver oil, that will give you vitamin D. And Shilajit, our Shilajit is known, I think that's why at the age of 44 and after having, I'm on hormonal therapy, which a lot of women gain weight, and I'm just, I don't, because I do take the Shilajit, and for other reasons, not to like not gain weight. But how do you get rid of always crank? How do I get rid of always cranky at home, kids, husband? Well, my first question, how do you feel in your own body? Sometimes when we are tired or fatigued, we don't have patience because we're not grounded. So we're more snappy. People get on our nerves, not because the people are bad. We're running on like zero energy. So anything can trigger us. So my first question is, how do you feel in your own skin? Are your hormones balanced? So you can't fill from an empty cup, is at the end of the day, the saying. And this year has really, okay, so that Mandy, not only working night shifts, it not only does it sleep deprive, but it actually messes up your circadian rhythm, your biological clock. When that becomes messed up, then your hormones will become messed up. And that is something, I don't know your situation, but I would really try to make it a goal to either change that shift or look for another job, because at the end of the day, it's not worth your health. Night shifts are one of the worst things you can do, but I know that we live in a world where sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. So you are basically running on fumes, and that's why your family triggers you. It's not that your family is bad, it's just you don't have the energy. You need to tell them, I need day shifts. It's starting to mess with my mental health. It's starting to mess with my hormones. I'm finding myself, you just have to stand up for yourself and see what they say. Somebody asked, would Shilajit help my appetite to gain weight? Shilajit actually might do the opposite. It kind of suppresses appetite. I find myself, I have to eat. I force myself, like yesterday, it was dinner time. I really wasn't hungry, but I just made it a point to eat because I'm trying to get pregnant, and I need the calories. So Shilajit might do the opposite. What will help your appetite is warming teas and stews and like things that warm your appetite, and then no more cold water. That's really bad. If you're having those iced coffees, you need to stop that as well. But no, it doesn't really. My service was HG. And they said my your cervix was too narrow. So, did you get your B12 done? Just from my understanding, my teacher wasn't a fan of veganism because in today's world, he's like, if you wanted to be vegan, you'd want to be living on an island where you're getting most of your energy from the sun. Because if you're not getting enough from the food in today's world and with all the Wi-Fi, it depletes you even more. So certain foods, you need to focus on your mitochondria. So if you're vegan, I would definitely, I don't know what state you live in, but look into at least getting 20 minutes of sunlight. I don't know your vitamin D levels. B12 is important. I would add in Shilajit. That will help your mitochondria. Studies are there, but I don't think that would be enough. I would really pair that with getting optimal sunlight, or if not sunlight, at least red light. Like I did red light on my thyroid today. I laid on it in the back, and then I went and laid out for 20 minutes. We shouldn't fear the sun, and we're not supposed to burn in the sun, but 20 minutes of sunlight is so important. Everything needs a balance. If the sun was so dangerous, we wouldn't be making vitamin D in the sun. My doctor actually tells me to be out for an hour. He's like, you should be getting an hour a day. And I think the studies are more and more showing that we do need some sun touching our skin without sunscreen. But just know that it does cause photoaging. So I never tan my face because I kind of just put a towel over my face and a hat, but I tan the rest of my body. Especially the gut. Well, pre-diabetes in a child, Rosie, what is your child eating, number one? For thyroid, like supplement-wise, zinc, selenium, L-tyrosine helps convert T3 to T4. I would get that child on colostrum, at least to help their gut, and maybe like mix the colostrum with some kefir, some honey, and some husk, the fiber husk, so they're getting some fiber. And get them a little bit of cod liver oil, get these nutrients in them slowly but surely. So my son, healthy fats, kids need a lot of fats because their brain is developing, their brains are fat. So with my son, he loves almond butter. Peanut butter isn't the greatest source of fat. It goes rancid. It's moldy in nature. He likes tahini. We drizzle olive oil. We put a lot of butter on his food. They said all blood work was normal, but I have PCOS symptoms. So yeah, PCOS, blood sugar dysregulation, and in Chinese medicine, dampness, stagnation here. So you probably also have anemia, or did you get your ferritin checked to see what your iron was like? Let me just do a little bit of my skincare. I've been working on my posture. I hope it's good. I'm trying to release the fascia here because after I started breastfeeding for 2 years, because I would always breastfeed, I co-sleep with my son and I'd be like this. So I'm just trying to open, and right here is the grief point. I will do a video on that because it's really important to release this point right here. Your grief point. Love, can you have them get some eggs, please? It's been 3 days. There's no eggs. And everybody's just like, there's no eggs. Nobody cares. They said my testosterone, estrogen, everything was normal on their end. So with PCOS, you have to get rid of the dampness and you have to build muscle mass and you have to help a little bit your gut bacteria. And that doesn't mean just take a probiotic, I have a guide on my website. I also do one-on-ones, but short term, this is what I would do. If I, God forbid, had PCOS, I would strength train 10, 20 minutes, a couple times a week, nothing, just build muscle. I would start after every meal, at least walk, but if you can't walk, just lift up your calves like 20, initially you want to go to 100, but it's going to be very hard. I would start all my meals with protein or fiber. So like steamed vegetables, your meat, and then your carbs. I would look into supplements that like myo-inositol is wonderful for that. Myo-inositol, berberine short term is known to be good. And then I would start doing Moxa Therapy. You can DM me for the TikTok link. I would do that here, at least every other day, here, the bottom of the feet, up top, to start bringing more circulation here and move out that stagnation. These are little things that I would start doing. Okay, let me put on some sunscreen. Oh, we're just discussing, my friend's been trying for your doctors say fertile, but egg quality is weak. There's a lot you can do for your egg. There's a book called It Starts With an Egg. That's wonderful, but definitely red light on the ovaries, every day, 20 minutes. She needs to work on her mitochondria health. Red light therapy. She needs to work. Why don't you? I do sessions with women. So if she wants to do a session, you can always, my website is in my bio. Supplements that help. NAD is known. Omega-3. She wants to be on vitamin E. I was on a lot of. So I do different supplements throughout different times of the cycle. Right now I'm in my luteal phase, so I don't take a lot of supplements because we don't want to like overwhelm the system. We're trying to, if the embryo was fertilized, we just want it to attach, but I do other things to support. But if my cycle day 1 comes, I'm on a lot of stuff right now, and it's okay because I'm in my 40s and I just need that. Okay, sunscreen is done. Let me just get some of my jewelry out. I always like to wear jewelry every day because it just helps your outfit look a little more put together. We were playing frequencies all night, my husband. I think it turned off. Is it off one? The frequencies? Yeah, we play frequencies all night. So you're probably, and that sound system, it's like, woo, so we feel the vibration and we just play it all night long. Hold on. You hear that? Like it's very low. And we go to bed every night with that. Sometimes we also play scripture. But yeah. We're a little jam-packed in here. The Shilajit have an expiration date. By law, we had to put 3 years, but no, not really. Especially if you froze it, it's good to go. Okay, I'm gonna go with this ring. It's very special to me, and I put energy in it. And then for neck earrings, let's go over here. The phone is charged enough. We can charge this phone now. We are renting this place because we're building our home, so everything looks very cramped right now until we great advice because grounding is so important. Grounding, fascia work, you want to start doing fascia removers. Okay. Let me just, I have a fascia blaster here. I just block people. I just don't even have the energy to engage. Like, I don't really want to waste my energy to engage because my energy is too precious to even, that's why you have to be careful with your energy. Like, don't even engage. Absolutely. I believe, and I've seen it, miracles. The mind is also very powerful. If you believe that, my teacher would always tell us a story that, for instance, there was a guy who was told by the doctor, you have the C word, and was like, you have 6 months to live. Ended up passing within those 6 months. They did an autopsy and he didn't have the C word. So your mind is so powerful. I remember last year the doctor was like, you're not going to get pregnant. You should just start doing IVF. Your time is running out. And at the time I didn't know I was pregnant, but I was pregnant, which was weird because I found out a few days later, and I got up and I will get pregnant. And I just walked out of there so your mind is so powerful. Like even now when I go, she's like, time's a ticking. I'm like, no, I know that I will. So I think she trusts me a little bit now. What time is it? It's 11. What time is it? 11 or 10? 11:45. And I haven't eaten, and that's not good. I'm not trying to intermittent fast, but I also don't want to just fill up on carbs, and there's no eggs. So let's go to the kitchen and see what's going on. Yeah, the mind is so what I do is I listen to there's affirmations on YouTube, so many. Like lately I've been listening, and I want to do my own affirmations, like do a few that have helped me. But lately I've been listening to fertility affirmations a lot to just help me believe in myself, like that I am fertile, and that's been really helping me. Was it good fast? What is intermittent fasting good for? It just gives your body a break from constantly releasing. So every time you eat, your body releases insulin. And then when your body keeps releasing insulin, sometimes you become insulin sensitive. So your cells are like, you know what? We just have way too much insulin because you just ate 2 hours ago, and we don't want to take any of this glucose. So then you can run into issues. Now, I woke up 2 hours ago. I still haven't eaten. I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting in the morning for women. My feet are getting cold. It's not good. If you are trying to lose weight as a woman, I would say stop eating once the sun sets. Like have your biggest meal around 4 or 5, and then start your morning with more tea. So I just did it. I'll take you guys to the kitchen and I will show you my tea. And I believe Shilajit. I've been on it, 44 now. I've been on it for 6 years. Oh, tough. Men are so gross. I've been on it for 6 years, and I've been the same weight now for the same 6 years. So I believe, how they say, like, as you get older. What the heck was that? What is this thing? Let me put some lipstick on. Thank you. I think we're all getting mentally prepared. Like my son keeps talking about the baby, which he never used to do. I've had this lipstick for a long time. I don't know if it's expired, but I don't care because I just love it. Did you get the eggs, love?
I'm going to get them.
Did you sleep well? How do you feel? What time did you go to bed?
Around 4.
Oh my God. I hope you get some sleep tonight. This is Kosas. So this is all my makeup. I'm not a huge makeup person. Well, I used to have a lot of makeup, and then I found out it was all like the bad ingredients, so I threw them out, like the Chanel and all that, and then I replaced them with organic ones or cleaner ones. So I'm not one of these people, like I just use my makeup till it's down to its last limb. Like this used to be a big, I've had this for 15 years. I just, some people might be like, oh, it's expired, whatever. I bought this when I was in Bergdorf Goodman in New York, because at the time I was broke, but I wanted to feel like special. So I went to Bergdorf. I'm like, oh, I bought something. Yeah, I use everything down to its last limb. And then when I got on TikTok, companies would send me makeup. So I kept it to give away. I would do like giveaways and stuff. And because I'm like, I'm not going to use this. The ingredients weren't that good. Hold on. All right, we're going to I was always one of these people. I grew up in a family of, I'm currently in Pakistan. I'm the oldest of 6. My family was, I would say, middle class, not upper middle class, but middle class. But from a young age, I always wanted, I remember one day, this was 18 years ago, and I still have these shoes. I was walking by a boutique and I saw these shoes and I went in, and at the time they were $500. So I went to my mom. I'm like, can I get these shoes? They're $500. She's like, absolutely not. Are you insane? So then and if you say no to me, I just have that personality, which I think is not bad to have. And I was like, okay, well, I'll get them myself. So then I went and got a job at a boutique where I would sell high-end fur coats in the Fairmont, and it was commission-based. So I made enough, and I was able to buy the shoes on sale. So I still paid $300, which was it's still a lot of money even today. And I got those shoes, and they're still in my closet, and they're timeless if you guys want to see them. And those shoes to me represented that if something is nice and it's out of your league, there's always a way to get it. It wasn't about the shoe. It was about, you said no, that I can't have them because I can't afford them. You can't tell me that I can't afford it. So it was more to prove to myself that I can have whatever I want and nothing's going to stop me. And that was like, let me see if they're in here. So I bought those too, and I used to hide them in the attic. And at nighttime I'd put them on and like walk around in my room pretending like, oh, I was like married and going to the country club, which I did end up having that life, and now I have a different life. And I got that out of my system. I'm like, once I had the country club life, I'm like, this isn't what I thought it would be. And that's when I really tried to go towards God, and I found the Lord, because I'm like, oh, I thought money and status would make you happy, but it doesn't. So I've lived a lot of lives for my 44 years. These are the shoes. They were all like, I need to get the heel redone, but those are hand glued Swarovski crystals. I mean, the heel, it looks a little outdated now for 15 years, because like now we have pointier heels, but that is silk. And I remember when I walked by, I saw them one night in Vancouver, Canada, and they were in the boutique, and they were just glistering so nicely. They do glitter nicely. So I'm not one of these people that buys a lot, but if I do buy something, I like it to last, and like quality over quantity. These ones I got 11 years ago. These are my Manolos. I ended up buying them on eBay because I wanted them, and I was like, there's no way I'm paying $3,000. So I found them on eBay, but I think they did that on eBay because it wasn't from the store, so you wouldn't be able to refund it. And they're actually 2 sizes. One's a 7 and one's a 7.5, and that's why I got them on a discount. I still paid like $400, but these are very nice and elegant. And I wear them sometimes to dinner with my husband when we go out to our favorite restaurant. So quality over quantity. I never shop at these like Shein or even Zara. I would rather go to estate sales and buy nice things that have, yeah. And this is my closet in Pakistan. So it's mostly the traditional clothes, but they're beautiful. Everything is hand embroidered, so I don't mind it. The dresses are really beautiful. They're very feminine. And the other closet are my American clothes. So I have an American closet when I'm in the US, and then I have a closet when I go visit my parents, and that's more like I can show a little bit more skin. I mean, you can show skin in Pakistan, but it would just be, it depends where in Pakistan you're in and where you're going. Like certain restaurants, people show skin, but just walking around in the street, you wouldn't want to do that because you would probably get the wrong type of attention. So, and you don't want that. When I say skin, I'm talking about like sleeveless. I'm not Pakistani. My husband is. What is, okay, here we go. Will you teach us to make a red light? So I can send you the, yeah, from my teacher for sure. Just, our sauna, I haven't used it in a while because I've been on my fertility journey. Before that, I used it almost every other day for 10 years to get heavy metals out of me. This is it. It's become like a storage thing. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's really become a storage thing. Yeah. And I don't know what that is. I don't know. My husband's into weird things. Yeah. Did you get the eggs, love? Okay, thank you. My husband, he my husband, he doesn't like, there he is, he's leaving. He's going to get eggs. Can you get some of those snacks Dayon likes? Yeah. There he is. We're renting upstairs unit right now. So we're going to be moving into our, you want to see the neighborhood? Let me go get, I'm wearing sunscreen. So this is where I lay out usually. This is our neighborhood. It's brand new, so there's a lot of homes still developing, and I'm glad we're leaving because somebody just bought this plot of land, and there's going to be a lot of dust because they're going to start building the home. Like these are the homes, they look like that first, and then eventually they get plastered, and that's the end look. But they're brick homes. There's a new home being built there. They just caved out the foundation. This is a new home, but they kind of stopped. I don't know if it was like a money thing. Sometimes they do that. They build it or they just sell that plot of land with the home. Our home is Sector A, and our home has like the park for the kids has tennis and zip liners. So this is Sector B. It's, how do I feel about, is that America? No. What's the temperature? It's in the 60s. It's really nice. And over down yonder, you can see the cows grazing. So grass fed to the fullest. Yeah, no. So it's nice. I lay out in the sun here. We are coming back to the States. I just don't know when. I don't know. Sometimes I'm on social media and I'm like, it kind of scares me what's going on right now. Like the energy seems a little unstable. And if, truth be told, I moved to the States when I was 14 and I left when I was 40. So I stayed a good 30 years, maybe, I don't know. And I grew up in California and New York City, so I don't really consider that real America. I've never been to Middle America, which is sad to say, but my husband wants to experience that part of the US. Like, I've never been to Texas. I've always lived in New York City, San Diego, La Jolla, or we did at one point had to move to Colorado, and we lived in Cherry Creek. I've never been to Utah. I've never been to, and I would like to experience. I've never been to Nashville. So what I've experienced in the U.S. is not the real American experience. I grew up in a little bubble on the Upper East Side. I've been to Chicago. I stayed at the Fairmont, or was it the Four Seasons? Like, I was always like very sheltered, would go to my little places and come back. I've been to Miami, of course. At one point, this is my second marriage. My ex-husband was working, he had an assignment in Miami, so he flew me out, and we were in Miami, and then we lived in Palm Beach Island, on Palm Beach Island. No, he's not in the military. No, no, not in the military. Family was more like, of course they won't tell you, but like CIA, but then they never tell you like, oh yeah, I work in the CIA. You just kind of figure it out, like, I think you're working undercover. I've never been to Boston, no. Oh, sorry, I lived in Washington, D.C. for 4 years too. How do I forget that? Because that was one of my favorite experiences ever. I lived in Georgetown, and how did I ever forget that? I really, really loved living in Washington, D.C. Okay, so Altaf is getting the eggs. No, he's going to get some. And then, oh my God, it's burnt a little bit. It's okay. Do you want to eat some? Oh, is that why it's burning? Okay, but don't let it burn too much. There. She is, am I a Christian? I am not, but I believe that, here's my stance on religions and the Lord. I have many Christian friends, Jewish friends, all types of friends. And I believe that at the end of the day, the way we choose to connect to the Creator is our personal way, because I believe God doesn't have a religion. You know, God created man, created light, and then, of course, sent Jesus and Moses and Abraham and everybody to teach us the ways to connect to the Lord. But as long as we, so whether you choose to connect to light through Jesus or Moses or through Islam, at the end of the day, we're all trying to achieve the same thing, which is achieving that light and everlasting. You know, this life to me is a test. We know that. That's my child. We come here to learn lessons, some good, some bad. And through those lessons that God puts us through, because you want to go back to Jesus, he put everybody through those lessons. We can either come out with anger and hate and stay low vibrational, or you can elevate to Christ consciousness and forgive. But forgiving doesn't mean that you still have to put up with the abuse. When I say forgive, that does not mean that if the person doesn't want to do the inner work and you forgive them and they're still abusing you, that does not mean you have to be around that. I just want to make that straight. You can forgive and pray for a person from a distance. You don't need to subject yourself to that or anything. Our soul is what needs the light, and that can only be connected through the person, through God. And now, whether you do that through Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, or some people are even agnostic, or they at the end of the day, we all have a journey and we're all trying to better ourselves. There's a lot of people who are religious, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, who have no compassion, who all the 7 deadly sins, greed, lust, it's just in their hearts. But then they hide behind the banner, well, I'm a Christian. it's what's inside of your heart at the end of the day that will divide us. Just saying that I'm something, but not really feeling it and not acting upon it and not making this world a better place is. I just watched this video. It was so crazy. This girl on TikTok she had a baby's noise in the background and she called 30 religious churches and mosques and synagogues. She's like, I just need formula. She was testing them. I just need formula for my baby. And only 3 out of the 40, 2 churches and 1 mosque, gave her money. Like, that is insane. And the amount of, so when people, it's like, oh, I'm religious and I go to my church and that's so dandy. But if it's not cleansing the heart, that's like just saying you're part of a club, but you're not really doing the work. It's not, and somebody, when Muslims go to pilgrimage where they walk around the Kaaba, we believe that Abraham put the rocks down and then Adam and whatnot. And so it represents time because we walk around 7 times. So it means that we're nothing but 24 times. That we're nothing but time. That's all we have on this earth. And it's what you do with this time. But the reason everybody's dressed in white, because in the eyes of God, we're all one. It doesn't matter the skin, it's what's in your heart that separates you from the other. And at the end of the day, it's only the Lord who's going to judge us. I don't think it has nothing to do with there's a lot of bad people that are religious. Some of the worst people, pastors, imams, they're just, trust me, I know. Like, some of the things that come out of their mouth when you're alone with them, you're like, wait, aren't you like the head of the... So I don't really go, and people might think of me and they see me and I am Muslim, but they're like, oh, what kind of Muslim are you? None of your business, because that's between me and God. What I do and how the conversations I have with my Lord, none of your business. I don't need to go to church. I don't need to go to mosque. I don't need to cover my hair and act a certain way or portray myself. So that's where I come, that's my whole stance on religion. I think everybody here, we're all on the whole the same wavelength, and we are all trying to better ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, to make this world a better place for ourselves, our family, our community. And we just know that one day our souls will depart, and hopefully one day I do get to meet you guys in the flesh. I told my husband that I would like to do a meet and greet when we're in the US. This was my idea. We have to go back to the US for a few years because we have some things we need to accomplish. So I told him, I was like, let's have a home address, but let's get an RV and really experience. If we're gonna do this, I want to experience the US, and we can get an RV. And he's like, are you crazy? I don't ever see you living in an RV. But I was like, no, I'm being really serious. We could go thrifting, which I love thrifting. We could go antiquing. We could just stop and stop at these different glaciers and go swimming and go camping. I would love to. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Are you taking our Shilajit? So I'm like, if we're gonna do the American, let's really experience it rather than just living in Washington, D.C. and just living in our little bubble again. I'm gonna have my Shilajit, but I haven't had breakfast. I'm definitely not taking it on an empty stomach. So I just cleanse it, Mina. Definitely my jewelry that I get, I just put it in a machine. But you don't want to thrift mirrors, portals. There's certain with shoes, you can put it outside. I have a little lipstick. What is that? Oh, it was a goji berry. Tooth pain. You're gonna get Jackie. Well, I have to get an implant tomorrow while we're on the topic. So I've been doing this. go boil some water, 2 cups of water, add in a tablespoon of clove, a tablespoon of salt, and a few drops of frankincense. That is going to be your mouthwash, and you're going to start using that. Where you have the tooth pain, you're going to just bite on a clove. That will like numb the tooth. But of course, you want to check that out. You don't want to just let it go. You want to go see a dentist. Now, if you need a root canal, hopefully you don't, but that's, you're going to want to do that. And from there, you're going to want to start using xylitol with coke. I mix it. You can buy xylitol on Amazon, mix it. If this is too much, just DM me and I can have chat. I will tell ChatGPT and he can like write it down and I'll send it to you. So we don't face mirrors to the door. Were you in a darker house your mom and dad were living through? Yeah, I grew up. My mom had a lot of depression. She was abandoned. Grew up as an orphan. So she had a lot of, and doctors would just numb her up. And I just didn't know at the time. So yeah, my childhood wasn't like as all of us. We all have that. But we have mirrors and we try to put them, you don't want to put one in front of your bed or in front of facing the door. The mirror that I have opens up. Yeah, frankincense is really good. It's okay. I think, now that I think about it, we all go through trauma. It's our lessons. At the end of the day, your soul signed up for them. I'm kind of glad that oh yeah, thanks. I was visiting. She does have a heart of gold. She's really trying. Um, she's when it comes, she's so generous. Like she, the other day, she went and bought me, it was my birthday, and she went to the jewelry store and she's like, oh, look at this gem. She bought me a beautiful ring. And I was like, you don't have to. She's like, no, I want to. So, and that she's, at the hurt people hurt others, and I think she just had a rough childhood, and I'm glad that my trauma mostly happened in my childhood because it's behind me now. I learned my lessons. Some people have it later on in life, and I think that's harder. They grew up with wonderful childhoods and then something happens to them. They have a marriage or a loss of a child, or yeah, I went through a lot in my childhood, and I think the Lord is giving me a bit of a break. He's like, you can have a rest now. No, they're not all porters, but you just wouldn't want to buy a used mirror from somebody else. You don't know who was like looking into that. So, we wake up in the morning, the first thing sometimes, like you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I look rough. Or that mirror attracts the person's energy that it was looking into. So I wouldn't buy an antique mirror from a thrift store. I wouldn't do that. Happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? Hi, Sarah Marie. Oh my God, you're a Scorpio. My birthday was on the 30th of October. So I love my fellow Scorpios. I feel like, what would this world be if we didn't have Scorpios? They're so deep, they're so intense. My husband's also a Scorpio, October 24th. I'm a Scorpio. And then our son is just, my husband's like, I hope we have a Scorpio child. No, we ended up having like an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. He's all fire and he's just such a joy, but he's so different from us. I don't, because today, oh my God, I'm not even gonna tell you, but he's just one of the funniest kids ever. Oh, so my father-in-law's an Aries, and I love Aries because they don't hold grudges. They get everything out and it's over. And that's what I love about that. I can't, like, my sister's a Cancer. She will bring up things from like 50, 30, 40 years ago. And you're like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. Your delivery, I know I have used it from Live Good, and it's amazing. Thank you. Our Shilajit, my kid's a Leo. I don't know much about Leo. I was married to Leo for 13 years. They're very nice. They're very generous. That's about it. I do live in Pakistan right now. Um, but our Shilajit is grade A. What does that mean? So there's different grade levels based on where they're sourcing it from the mountaintop. Most of what you see on the market is grade C. So grade C, you will see a lot of shepherds and they will have poop and urine and whatnot, feces. Grade A is harder to get because it's higher up, so it's more purified and clean. That's number one. It's lab tested, third party. And number three is it's not diluted down. So anything you get that is watered down, like liquidy, that is heavily, heavily watered down, it comes off like thick tar like. So we just add a little bit of coconut oil just to make it like taffy. Thank you. Do you think the food quality is better? It's definitely better in Pakistan. Yeah. I remember buying apple in one time my apple, it just like fell behind. The capsules are really bad mass. So every inch of it is worth money. They call it liquid gold because it's so when they purify it, they scrape that and then they dry it because every bit is worth money to them. So I would definitely stay away from the capsules. Now with us, I know that times are getting a little tough for everybody with inflation. It's getting crazy and that's worldwide, trust me. The tariffs, when I sent my shipment, I was like, what is this new charge? They're like, tariffs. I'm like, okay. But if you're on a budget, let me see. I think we ran out because everybody in our household have others buying from me too now. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Phoenix. So this is what you get. So let's say you get more than this. Just everybody's been using it here. But let's say you're on a budget and you got it. This is 25. This is a little bit less than 25 because we've been using it. You'd get a little bit more. You could cut it in half, add it to a little glass jar. Like always keep your little glass jars. And you could add a few tablespoons of water and you would get that liquid form. So then that tin will last you 6 months. It won't be as potent, but it will work. I have both of our, we do have indoor help and I love them. We have a girl that helps with cooking and then one that helps with cleaning. And they were both super overweight when they came. The one girl had PCOS. She told me yesterday she's lost 20 pounds. And she is only been here since September. So in 2 months, she's been taking the Shilajit and they really haven't even changed their diet much. Like they eat pretty carb heavy because the food is carb heavy here. I taught her how to eat and I do share my teas with them as well. My son does not, Phoenix, because it does have hormone like testosterone and a few other, it balances the endocrine system, and with kids their endocrine system isn't fully developed. So for my child I give him colostrum and I got this homeopathic type of, I should get him vitamin D, he's ran out, but I have this kids like multivitamin thing and then I do this homeopathic, I mix it in the kefir yogurt. So no, but my son does gravitate towards it, which is weird. It tastes so bad and he likes to eat it. So sometimes I'm like, is he lacking? Which he is a little iron deficient because I was iron deficient when I've always had anemia issues. It's better now. I used to have to get transfusions, but in my pregnancy towards the end, I was a little deficient. Who else here is taking our Shilajit? Who else here is taking Zora's Shilajit? Can you please let us know what you're feeling, everything on it? She's lost 20 pounds. She's still trying to lose a little bit more. I nursed for 2 years. The day he turned 2, I was done. And I think that's why I was unable to get pregnant a year later. I was 43 at the time. But I think had I not nursed him, I would have been able to, but we weren't really trying. We started trying, whatever, it's so fine. I was pregnant last year this time. It's so hard. And he still, did you find like he still needs to hold it to fall asleep? We co-sleep. I've been taking it for years. You've been taking Zor Shilajit for years, my brand? And how are you feeling on it? Hi, baby. What are you doing? Mr. Bean car? Yeah, you want to show them? His Mr. Bean car. How can I get it from your? We ship worldwide. We've never had issues with Australia. Yes, my iron went up. I have energy. Yay! We never have issues with Australia. Canada can sometimes be iffy. They sometimes want customs, but I believe it's over a certain amount. Thank you. Thank you. Well, the energy you see in me is the same energy that radiates from you. Is it good to take Zor after taking iron supplement? If you were super iron deficient, it's okay, but you don't want to be on iron supplements long term. Iron, think of iron like it rusts, and especially these synthetic forms, they can cause oxidation in your body. So you always want to try to get your iron from like natural forms. There's different molecular structures of iron, just like magnesium as well, and other minerals. I watch not to take it after 3 as it gives me so much energy. People notice. Yeah, I don't take it in the evening, but my husband does, and he's fine. How's my face? So I dabbled with filler. I would say, yeah, beef. So what you can do, Gay, is, can you hear me well? Let me just clean this up. I make beef liver supplements. So I buy fresh grass finished beef liver. I peel it, I blend it with oranges because oranges have vitamin C. The acid helps break down the iron so it can better be utilized. Then I put that in molds, like silicone molds, and I put it in the freezer. And then I will show you all. I have it right now with colostrum, and then I cut off a piece. And I was doing that so on paper, my iron looked fine. I was smart enough to check my ferritin, which is your iron storage, like your savings account. When your iron gets low, it goes to the savings account. Ideally for fertility, you want to be at a 75. I was at a 9. So I was like, let me just fix it with beef liver, shilajit, vitamin C, colostrum, which has lactoferritin, which binds to the iron in your gut. And I was able to bring it up to 20 within 2 months, which was good. And if I wasn't trying to get pregnant, I would stay at that. But truth be told, I was like, oh, it has to be at 75. So I caved in and got myself an injection, which I don't really feel much. And when I got that injection, my thyroid shot up. So it wasn't the best for, I would say, if you're not trying to get pregnant, just try to go with beef liver and shilajit. But this is what so then you just get one of these. This has colostrum in it right now. And you would pop it out. And then you can cut this in half. You put it on a plate, cut it in half, and you just take it like a pill. This is colostrum. We kind of ran out. I need to make a new batch of the iron, the beef liver. And there you go. You have your beef liver supplements. I learned this from my mentor. Colostrum you have to get from the farm. It's basically the mother's milk. So it's the cow's milk when they have a baby. Would our bodies break it down? Yeah, for me, yeah, because you have good acids. So yeah, or you could if you let it sit for 10 minutes, it will get a little bit softer, but you don't really taste the more oranges you put in there, the less you will taste it. Somebody asked if I've dabbled with fillers, and I would say please don't do it ever, for the love of God. If you really want to ever do that, just go to a good doctor and get fat transfer. Filler ruined under my eyes. I do have a plastic surgeon. Let's be transparent. I go to him once a year, and I do stem cell therapy. So they take your own. I did do lip filler. I did lip filler. I do it once every 5 to 6 years, and only my top lip, because I've always had bigger bottom lips, but never a nice top lip. So I have done lip filler very, very conservatively every 5 to 6 years. I would say never do under your eye. I would, if you're gonna do it, you go to a good plastic surgeon and get fat transfer. My plastic surgeon and I decided once I have a baby, the face kind of ages rapidly because you lose estrogen. He's like, then come back and we'll figure out, maybe do like a little bit fat transfer, we'll see. Do you need a little bit of lift? He's like, but right now, nothing. I've never done lasers. I'm kind of curious, and I feel like it's good that I didn't do lasers yet, but I do believe in the future I will do like a round of laser for the sun damage. Are you expecting now? Not that I know of. But the plan is we will start with the round of IUI if we're not pregnant in December. I'm not late. I am 6 DPO. We are counting down the days. I'm gonna be I want to always be transparent with y'all. Back in July, my periods were very, very regular. We've been living in this home all cramped together because we're building our home. It was a very stressful year for me. And then I was put on progesterone just to help my luteal phase. I'm late tonight, yeah. And then my period disappeared, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? So, mind you, I was 45, so I was 95 pounds. I'm 100, so I have gained some weight. It was really bad. I was just super stressed. We went to the doctor. My uterus was very thin. That's why it's always important to just, see what's going on rather than playing the guessing game. If your uterus is thin, that means that your estrogen is pretty low. That would be very normal given that I'm older and I was severely underweight. So then we went on estrogen therapy, and we didn't get pregnant. I was a little stressed out, and the doctor told me this was September. This is like around September. She's like, look, why don't you take a break for a month and go on birth control, and let's reset everything. So I was like, yeah, I need a break just for my own mental health. So during that month, I just did a lot of cleansing. I did Moxa every day, and I just cleansed the last bit of dampness that used to always show up on my tongue every morning, and that bloat that would never go away. Wheat germ is wonderful. Wheat germ is high in B vitamins. Wheat germ is high in natural B vitamins. It's also fiber. So I ended up, which I'm going to buy some. Thank you I used to take it all the time around when I got pregnant with my son. So this is October, which was we were on estrogen, progesterone, and we did an FSH shot. My husband did all the testing. He's also, his vitamin D was low, so he fixed that. We did the FSH shot to trigger, because there was a few follicles growing, but they were a little slow growing. And then we did the HGC shot to trigger ovulation. So now we're just in the waiting game. But we decided, my doctor and I, we will try a round of IUI in December. She's like, 3 is the cutoff, and from there we will see what happens. But I think I don't really want to go to IVF. I'm so resistant against it, but we will see what happens. IUI is basically, you go to the doctor, they see, okay, there's a follicle, they give you an FS to basically release that follicle, they tell you to come back, they see that the egg has released, you're ovulating, they take the man's they take the male, so maybe you needed just some extra estrogen to help you. But I am going to tell you, I am now seeking help. I just turned 44. So I am now doing HRT, if you will. So they take the male sperm, they wash it, they take the best, strongest swimmers, and then they just kind of inject it into you so it bypasses and it just kind of surrounds the egg. And then the rest again is your body. So that is IUI. The cutoff is 3. They will only do 3 rounds once a month. And then after that, they kind of say, like, listen, it didn't work. But I really think I don't want to do IVF. I don't want to, I'm just, not that it's bad. I just don't want to do it for myself. I don't want to be on all those drugs. I mean, I'm on some right now and they're helping, but I just don't want to be on like more of these shots that they do all the time. So we'll see what happens. So I am kind of doing like light IVF. Oh, yeah, I hear, less is more sometimes with these clinics. My problem is I do have follicles, thank God. My boy he's 3.5. He's gonna be 4 in March. I would love to give him a sibling and I'm good. But there is a chance, I've come to peace with that it may not happen as well. You just have to be open. I would. My husband is not. He's not. And it's really my husband who's younger and wants the child like a lot, like which doesn't help. I've spoken to him about that and he's not open to it because he's like, we don't know what trauma these kids have, what trauma they're bringing in. And he's like, you need to be really hands-on. And right now, what you're with everything going on in your life, I don't know. He just had a lot of excuses. I would, I spoke to him. His mother-in-law was open to it. We were both open to it. The grandma was open to it because women have more compassion, and he just was not into it at all, which is really sad because in Islam, adopting is one of the biggest blessings you can ever do. Like there's an automatic doorway key that you get for going to heaven. If you adopted an orphan child, a child in need, it's one of the biggest blessings you can ever give to another human being. So I was like, not into it because trust me, I would just rather do that than all this. I had twins, lost. Oh my goodness, wow. Did you lose one in birth or like recently? But you never know, people always change their minds in life. I truly believe like that I have that same feeling like I did last year. I got pregnant this time last year after doctors were like, it's not going to happen, but we lost it at 3 months. And I have the same feeling. It's back. And I do believe like one day, if he ever wants a third, that's going to be adoption. Takes a toll on your mental. It ages women the fastest. Like my sister is so beautiful. She still is. She's 27. She just had her first baby, the baby looks like a porcelain doll. But y'all, I don't know what happened to her. Luckily she's back to her size 2 jeans, but like she aged so fast. I was like, what's going on? But she's not getting any sleep either. When did I joined in 2020 during the lockdown. Oh, wow. So they never took the baby out? Isn't that dangerous for the mother though? it's very, 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 very hard. And I breastfed, but it's also so rewarding. Like once you have a child, you're just like, I don't think, how could I ever not have you? Wow, that is, but you were oh my goodness, that's, women's bodies are so amazing. I do have jujube tea after your ovulation, yes. Not bye, beautiful. Wishing you a blessed and happy day. Just remember, something wonderful will happen to you today. Always tell something wonderful. I remember when you joined, you were all over the place. All over the place with my content. Yeah, all over the place in what regards. My other page, I do more of what I eat. I have different social media accounts. And I've kind of narrowed it down to what I post on what. Uh, oh, I went viral on your FYP. Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Which is sad because there's so many good creators and it just doesn't happen anymore. Oh, thank you. But so much to think about and prepare our bodies. So when I got pregnant at 40 on the first try, we weren't trying. I was really, for the last 10 years, helping my body, mind, spirit. I was doing sauna, not to get pregnant because I hadn't even met my husband, but I was just doing it for myself. And I think that's why it was the easiest pregnancy. Heck, we weren't even, and I remember finding out I was pregnant, and I remember thinking, wow, it's so hard, because I would always have women that would come to me for advice and they'd be like, I'm trying for so long. So I always thought it was always going to be that hard. And so the doctor was like, you should save your eggs after I had my baby. And I was like, nah, I'm going to get pregnant again. And sometimes I do regret, like, should I have saved my eggs? Because I was younger. I don't know. Yeah, definitely. Wait, did you make some eggs, Urfa? Can you make 4 eggs for Altaf too? Thank you. And the sweet potato fries. What? The sweet potato. Thank you. My mother-in-law and the helper are in the kitchen helping. The first time I got married, I was 27. That lasted for 12 years. And second time, I was 40. Yeah. Oh. I currently live in Pakistan. We're building our dream home. I never thought, I used to watch videos of Selling Sunset. Is that the one on Bravo? And I would always be like, oh, I want a house like that. So I can't wait to show you. We're gonna move at the end of this month. We're currently renting in the same neighborhood. We want it to be close to the house. Yes, Jess, just really, they say when you're not looking is and it's really true. I really wasn't looking in my past relationships. I always thought, well, if I find somebody, I'll be happy. And for the first time, I remember my prayers before I met my husband was like, I would ask the Lord, whatever door is the right door for me, open that. And I was also at peace with, I might live on a lake. I was like, I live in upstate New York, live in a cottage and throw retreats. And that was like I was like, or just to be like the crazy crystal lady and throw like healing retreats. I didn't know. I just knew that I was also at peace with. So they always say, and even with pregnancy this month, for the first time, I'm just like, you have to surrender. You have to surrender that if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Like you can't control everything. And yeah. I do not have a cycle. I started taking these natural called cycle bites. So Jess, I would start looking into Moxa. If you don't have a cycle, if I would just get a scan with your doctor. Okay, then then it's fine. It's not an estrogen thing. Look into Shatavari. That helps. You're still very young. Shatavari is an herb that balances. Start at cycles. Seed cycling is wonderful. Is no. Here's the thing. The Lord, science and the Lord go hand in hand. God created man, gave man a brain, and it has, it's just another way of getting. So yes, at the end of the day, the soul still comes from heaven. The soul, it's just one way that and rather than it happening it naturally, it just happened. So no, I believe that the soul comes from the Lord. Science can never create a soul. It can create a human being. AI is becoming more and more conscious, which is scary, but AI will never have a soul. It is so important. So I would do the moxa, I would do spleen tea, I would drink jujube. Jobs tear is important. Jobs tear will get rid of your dampness fast. Jobs tear porridge. I would add in Shilajit. That helps boost your yang energy. It helps with the kidneys. It just helps bring warmth and circulation. So definitely with brand, of course, mine is going to be the best brand out there. And then always have it with some like protein source, some chicken or some eggs, just good quality protein. Del Toro's frankincense. I don't know who that is. I went to the endocrine, did a full hormone panel and said, all is normal. Should I still take? I mean, you could. Shatavari, it's an adaptogenic herb. With adaptogenic, just like Shilajit, it takes what you need, and that's the beauty of natural things. You can't really, if you just do low dose, it doesn't really. It helps with fluid, and it helps just regulate, just like ashwagandha, and studies are saying ashwagandha helps with thyroid issues. So Shilajit, all these things are helpful. Shilajit gives you more minerals in that regard. I got pregnant when I started doing seed cycling and lost my baby in 6 weeks, age 40. I'm so sorry, Angie. It's losing a child, a pregnancy. It's a club that nobody wants to be part of, but there's so much love and support. I was pregnant last year this time. I lost the baby just at around 12 weeks. And we were just going, I lost it on Sunday. Monday would have been our appointment, second trimester start appointment. Instead, I was going and, making sure that there was no fluid left in my uterus. And then I opened myself up. I started another TikTok account for my fertility journey and what I eat in a day. I kind of stopped doing the fertility post. I might post something today because I kind of also, it's a very hard journey. It can be sometimes mentally draining and yeah. But then I got stories from women who would book sessions with me. I don't even want to tell you because it's just so gut-wrenching. Women, we're so strong and we still don't want to give up. We still, after all that. Okay, and one little tea. Tea. Yes, thank you. My chili resin got super hard. Can I put it in a double boiler to soften it? No, Jess. If you got the Zor, all you can do is just add a few drops of water and it will get soft. Just add 1 drop of water. How old is it, Jess? When did you get it? And is it Zor? You know what? You could add it to heat. But depends how hard are we talking. You could add it to heat, it would get softer. Yeah, try that. And if that doesn't work, try a few drops of water. Did you know daughter had twins for second pregnancy? Her body knew. Yeah, my sister-in-law is like that. She had twins naturally. She miscarried and then she got pregnant with twins again, and she just had the twins. And the doctors told her, like, your body only knows how to have twins. So if you are done, she already had one child. So they have 3 now. Do you mind if I eat? I don't like eating online, but I'm just very hungry. I had polyps, so... How old are you, Sarah? How old are you? I'm just super hungry. Thoughts on bee pollen? It's great. Lots of B vitamins in there, but just get like, we used to sell bee pollen. We no longer do because, I don't know, with tariffs, it just didn't make any sense. But if you're going to get bee pollen, try to get it locally. That will have the pollen from your area and it will help you. I'm eating some sweet potato fries. They look a little burnt. That's okay. I'm gonna have a piece of toast, a little bit more butter. Yeah, my husband likes to dip his dates in tahini, and we're just having some eggs. And I gained weight. Sarah, I want you to look in the mirror in the morning. If you have like a thick white coating, do you have a chef? I do, Laura. I'm very blessed to have a chef, yes. That's one of the perks of living abroad. You have a lot of help. And she's able to support her family on the salary we give her because life isn't as hard. So a lot of people here, they don't have to pay rent because they own their home. They don't have to pay taxes. You know, there's no such things. Like the US is built in such a way where, trust me, I pay taxes. I don't live in the US anymore. No, it's hard. I can't. Like, I told my husband, I was like, for one time so we have three, like one that helps run errands and drive us around, and then another girl, we love her to death, she helps with the cooking, and then another girl helps with the cleaning. And you know, they go home sometimes every 2 months. They go home for 10 days. They get 10 days every 2 months. So she wasn't here once, and I told my husband, I'm like, I forgot how to wash clothes. Like, I forgot how to turn on the dishwasher. What's going on? Look in the mirror, Sarah, first thing in the morning. If you have a thick white coating on your tongue, then you have classic dampness and stagnation. You'd want to get that out. You would want to start doing moxa, jobs tear, eating that, drinking the jujube, goji berry tea, add in Shilajit. Just bring in more red light therapy there, laying out in the sun. And then if that's too hard for you to remember, we have free guides on our website. But if you do also want to do a one-on-one and you have blood work, I also do one session where I kind of guide you and send you everything in an email, so that way you just kind of have it and remember. So when we talk about dampness, it's just a term for pathogens, right? So when there's a river, and it's flowing, that river's clean. You can see the little rocks at the bottom. When that river gets backed up, that water starts to get thick and algae, and you know, things start to like accumulate, and the same thing happens. We have stagnation. For women, it can happen. For me, I was living in mold for 2 years. One day I woke up and I looked 9 months pregnant. Like, I just looked so bloated, and it just never went down. No matter what I ate, I was going in the sauna, and that's what kind of, I went down this rabbit hole. I'm like, oh, the fungus caused dampness. It caused stagnation, and it's building an environment. And it literally took me 1.5 years to get out of it. We moved from the mold home, and following the diet and doing moxa, it's not an overnight fix. But if you would want to start doing these things and support, now if you're on your fertility journey, that's where I guide you. You can do this time of your cycle, that time of the cycle. Cheers. Thank you so much, Maj, for being here. Wishing you a blessed day and something. Just remember, you're blessed, you're special, and you make this world a better place. Thank you. Where do you live? Upper Northwest? My family's from Vancouver. Oh my God. So then in that regards, get yourself a sun lamp, okay, and turn it on in the morning. That sun is so important. It helps reset your circadian rhythm, and definitely invest in a red light therapy. That's how. Yeah, Europe can be rough. The summers are beautiful, but the winters, get yourself a sun lamp. Anytime I have clients from the UK, I tell them to get a sun lamp. How's weather in Pakistan? It's beautiful. It's like Florida. It is crunchy. I don't know. We don't have an air fryer, so they either come out crunchy or not cooked at all. So the weather's like Florida. It gets cold at night now that it's winter, but during the day, like I laid out in the sun. Sweet potatoes are so good for your spleen, and you want to support your spleen. So yes, baked sweet potatoes are your friend. Add some sardines or some beef in there, some ground beef. No cheese. You can't do any cheese when you have dampness, but sweet potatoes are your friend. Job opportunities. I would say if you're looking for job opportunities, that's more Dubai, Spain, Qatar, but Qatar can be a little, because it's just like a desert, a man-made, and then Saudi Arabia, but I've never lived in Saudi Arabia. Pakistan, not really. Pakistan, you have to have, if you have capital and you want to invest, like have a gas station or build. So there's a lot of like restaurants that we love to go to, and it's like an American blonde Christian Anglo-Saxon woman married to a Pakistani, and then they come here and they build like a restaurant or a sushi place, and those places, they're like cash cows because people love that. Like I told my husband, there's no good Mexican food. Like if I was into the restaurant business, but yeah, if you have capital. But for me, it was easy. I would never live here if it wasn't for my husband. Like, and I even told my husband, like, God forbid, if something happened to you, I would never stay in Pakistan because you're the only thing, right, I'm here for. But you kind of have to know somebody and then come here. So the people who come here usually are married to Pakistanis or whatnot. But if you have capital and you want to invest it, the other thing they do here, let's say you have 100 grand, you keep it in the bank, they actually pay you to keep your, so there are investment, but you just have to have capital as always. So my husband used to work for the government. He used to work, he was their social media, he would do videos, and he was their social media, what? And then just like anywhere in the world, at least in the US, they don't do that yet. Hopefully it never gets to that, but they kind of took him out, and then a new establishment came in. And so he left that, even though he was actually offered bigger salary, he was just like, no, I don't want to work for the enemy, like enemy territory. It's like saying that, you were blue and then you need to work for red, or vice versa. So we actually build homes. We have a little real estate company, and we build mold So a lot of homes here, they're super beautiful, but there's humidity, and nobody puts like ensures that this whole home is organic and mold free. So that's what we focus on, is bringing homes that are won't get mold, and everything from we have paint that sucks in the formaldehyde from the air, and we just build the homes in non-toxic way. So for a quarter, $300,000, you can build your dream home. No, he worked when Imran Khan was in office. He worked under him. But if you know the politics here, he's in prison now for bogus charges. And yeah. I mean, politics everywhere are just so messed up. And at the end of the day, yeah, he's a good-looking man. He's a good-looking man too, even in his 70s, right? My husband got to meet him, and he said he had so much, like, some people just walk in a room and they have so much life force, like just this light radiating from him, and he definitely had that life force energy. Like tall, handsome. He was really for the people. He built free hospitals, he built food banks, he built he was doing construction here in Pakistan. So not like the tax system is, if you don't earn a certain amount of income, you don't have to pay taxes, but certain things like cars are 50% tax because it's a luxury. So he took away that 50% tax, and then people were able to get nicer cars, because a lot of the cars, sometimes you go to Pakistan and some of the cars are so old and you're like, oh my God, what is this? But then you realize that even if you have, let's $20,000, you'd have to pay $40,000 for the same car. And that's why it's kind of harder for people to get nice cars. And you see a mix of everything on the road. Do you believe in twin flames? Yes. Love, do you believe in twin flames?
Yeah.
What do you think I am to you?
We're soulmates.
We're soulmates? So you think our souls met in a different world and they wanted to be together?
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I are so alike, right? So alike. Is it normal that thyroid changes so much after stopping the pill? It can be. Why did you? I'm actually on the pill for the first time. I'm on level for the first time in my life, just because I was trying to control my thyroid, and I got it down to 1.7, and then it would go back up to 2, and I just was like, I don't need this stress right now. 2 TSH from 2 to 0. That's kind of really, I don't know. I would look into the doctor, but why did you stop your thyroid meds? I'm not even having coffee. The fascia, so TMG, it can be dental alignment is off. You would definitely want to get a good mouth guard. I have one that I love, Revive. It's on my TikTok shop on this page. It helped re-straighten my teeth, but then you need to like release the fascia. And there's a lot of qualified girls on here that teach about that. Just write in TMG fascia release, and you can find videos on YouTube, and you'd want to do that consistently. Then you want to add in, like, you can, so fascia is made of hyaluronic acid. So there's 2 things you can do. You can add in a hyaluronic acid supplement, or you could eat foods high in hyaluronic acid, one being chicken feet. So you would get organic grass-fed chicken feet, boil it. That broth, I know it's gross, but when you strain it, it tastes just like Campbell's chicken soup. It's rich, and you would drink a broth of that. Also, your skin would be glowing. So those are your options there, but you really have to release the trigger points for the TMG. Now, they do say that fascia is where our trauma gets stuck. So I don't know if you had a lot of unsuppressed anger that, I don't know. There's that emotional aspect to it as well. I did not stop thyroid meds, but oh, yeah. So the contraceptive pill definitely, because it was suppressing your hormones, right? It gives you too much progesterone, so your body thinks you're pregnant, and you don't. So yes, it can definitely do that. Give it, I don't know, how long has it been? Give it a few months. If you don't get better, then go get tested. There's nothing wrong with getting on a little bit of thyroid hormones. I'm on it right now. I feel, look, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Like I was trying, it just wasn't working. And maybe once I have my baby, I can try to heal my thyroid. But all these things take time. So I grew up in New York City and San Diego. I would never go back to New York. And I also lived in Washington, D.C. for 4 years, which I surprisingly really liked Washington, D.C. because it was a mix of like New York, Boston. I was going to say California, but not really. It was like a mix of that. But I think my husband wants to move to Texas. I don't know. I've never been to Texas. I would like to move back to California. My next pregnancy journey, it's still a journey. I'm ready to close this chapter, girl. So let's pray. NYC is very busy. And not only that, this is going to sound so crazy, but with the new Wi-Fi radiation, it's like you're in a microwave because everything is close together and you have so many cell phones and cell towers, and and there's no trees, and I would definitely not go there. So Texas, everybody says come to Texas. It is. It's morning. This is my first meal. I wish it's like noon. I should have been having it earlier, but whatever. So everything you feel, love, can you get my book so I just show them how the body and mind's connected? That little art book. Our fascia is like a saran wrap that wraps around everything. And they say that our emotions, when we feel angry or tense, like some people who've had grief, or people who've gone to war, their faces are stuck and that's actually their fascia, that trauma, that energy, that feeling gets stuck in their head. So when they say that everything is connected, like you have a thought, it just goes down. But then you have the fascia that wraps around. I don't know if I have a picture of the fascia in here. This is the muscle system, but it's kind of just covers. So in order to release the fascia, you don't really need, it's no fancy something you have to buy. That's why people don't talk about it. You just do trigger point releases. And I do it on myself. There's a Human Garage, which is wonderful. They're on YouTube, they're on here. They have great YouTube videos. Then I took a course 10 years ago with a woman called, she's special, and I bought her set of balls, and she would tell you where to put the balls and release it. But then fascia doesn't like, when it's dehydrated, it gets stuck. So things that dehydrate it, unfortunately, caffeine is one of them, not getting enough sleep, being dehydrated in general. So you want to use electrolyte powder, but fascia is made of hyaluronic acid, as well as your tears, as well as that smooth feeling inside of your mouth. And hyaluronic acid, again, as we age, these things go down. That's why we shrink, we become, your organs shrink, your bones shrink. Like my dad, he's 80, he's like this little old man, but he used to be this big, tall. So you just kind of shrink. Now you can get a supplement, but I would say better yet, you buy chicken feet, you boil it in a big pot, then you strain it and you put those, you make mason glass jars of the broth, you freeze them and you use that as your soup broth. And your face will be glowing, protein, amino acids, but very, very, very high in hyaluronic acid. So can Awesome John start doing that again for us?
You were having the cow feet, but
No, but cow feet doesn't have as much hyaluronic
Really?
acid as chicken feet. It's the chicken feet. Yep, bone marrow, which I saw bone marrow in the freezer. Should we make that tonight for dinner? Okay. And then here is why we take Shilajit. It says up here, energy. All these, that's a periodic table. Those are all the elements of minerals that we need. Calcium, zinc, like the number, the like Ca for calcium. And those numbers just mean like atoms. So atoms, protons, neutrons. That is why it's so important to get your minerals. So Shilajit will have you covered there. Getting sunlight, red light, hydrating well, all these things, they just help build a foundation. Like a house is not just bricks. That's why they call it a journey. You're on this journey, but not to overwhelm you. As you get more energy, you're just able to fit in more into your, like if I were to tell people, do everything I do in one day, they'd be like, whoa, it took me 10 years to get here. But for me, it doesn't seem overwhelming because I love myself and I've learned that the strongest relationship I will ever have in life besides having one with the Lord is with myself. Not, your children grow up, they leave you, your husband, the strongest relationship you will ever have in this world is with yourself and God. So I've learned to love myself. So I enjoy doing these things, but I had to get here. First, I worked on my minerals, then my gut health. So it's a journey that you're constantly on. And eventually I will, this year, the journey was learning boundaries, learning to become more patient, learning, of course, I love Jesus. I love all the prophets, all the people who are sent here to teach us about love, light, about God. So this year was very hard in that I had to live with my in-laws, and I grew up for the last 15 years of my life. I've been very independent. I've lived in my own, and they would just have chaos, and I'm just not, I don't operate like that. So I have to learn to become more flexible as well. Should we look for what? So Sarah, the sauna heat lamps, if you're looking for sauna, Philips is good. It's low EMF. I would honestly say I don't know much, but if I don't know your budget. The one that I got is around $300. I've had it for 6 years now. I like it. I trust the company. They're a US owned, family owned business out of Ohio. And I like to support family owned businesses. And B, I put it on my thyroid. I put it on my ovaries, it's just right next to my bedside. You plug it in like a charger. So you charge it up. This morning, I put it on my kidneys. I'm in my luteal phase, so I don't really put it on my ovaries. But if cycle day 1 starts, I do like 30, 40 minutes on my ovaries. So let's say I'm just laying in bed or I'm going to watch The Housewives. Or just take it out and put it on there. Why not? Or I put it under my sleeping cap. I put it right on my head, under my hat. I wear a silk bonnet. You want to be getting 880 mm. So I don't know if I would trust going to Amazon because Amazon can be iffy. Like if you're buying supplements, you want to make sure that the company you're buying from is actually on Amazon and there's not fakes, because yes, they do make fake supplements. I haven't heard of the brand Huga. What do you recommend for a sluggish lymphatic system? You can do burdock root. That will start to get your lymphatic, but then just lymphatic drainage every day, every day. Open up that lymph, open up the fascia, open up the lymph, be properly hydrating with electrolytes. Burdock root is good. And for your minerals, Shilajit. You have to get minerals regardless. I'm well, Elise. How are you, my love? I'm just having breakfast. Thank you. Cheers. Huh? What, Elta? You smell good. What is that smell? You smell good. Yeah, we have to get a new apron for sure. Burdock root. With herbs, you always try to want to get the tincture. It's a lot stronger. It's just better than the powders. The powders go rancid. You don't have the tinctures are a little bit better. Hi, love. Yeah, you want some juice? Yeah. It's electrolyte juice, but he can have some. It's fine. Is it yummy?
Yeah, what's soap?
Huh?
Let's put soap in it.
It's not soap. It's from the powder.
Powder soap? Powder
And my son knows, like, when Mama's doing her routine, he's like, Mama's exercising. Leave her alone. Mama's exercising. I don't know. Today, the funniest thing happened. We co-sleep. He sleeps next to me. And I don't know, this is a little gross, but I had a little bit of like a gas and it was a little smelly. And he's like, don't ever do that again, Mama. Don't ever do that, okay? That's really disgusting. And I just couldn't stop laughing. He's like, it smells under the blanket, okay? Just don't do that again, okay, Mama? I was like, okay. But I was like, do what? He's like, it smells, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. That was just, I'm sorry. But my husband hates like jokes about he just doesn't get my humor. I sometimes on this TikTok I watch these weird, like they go to the grocery store and they go behind somebody to go and they make these weird voices and the person's like, what are you doing? I don't know why I'm into it, but my husband's like, I don't know why you think this is funny, but I will just crack myself up and watch those videos. I was born in Canada. I was raised in the States. My mother is Turkish. We're Kurdish. We don't have a cut. Yeah, he's like, is this American humor? Because I just don't get it. Or like, this is a gay parking. And like, give me your best gay voice. Daddy, chill. And I just will laugh and laugh. And everybody looks at me like, what's funny? How do you not find it funny? I had a friend who used to be into prank calling, so she would call. Yeah, she used to be into it. I don't know, maybe that's the Halloween Scorpio in me. We would do it, but then eventually I'm like, okay, this is bad. I speak Kurdish. I don't speak Turkish. I wish I did. I never learned it. I wish I spoke Arabic. But I don't. I kind of understand, and I haven't learned Urdu, which everybody's like, you've been here for almost 4 years, but everybody speaks English. Even when you go to the grocery store, everybody, especially the places I go, the coffee shop, everybody speaks English. So it's been really hard. Like if everything's written in English, the signs are written in English, everything, you go to the grocery store, everything's in English because I believe of the British. I don't know, but yeah. The British occupied here back in the day, so that's why everything's written in English. I just kind of had a realization. Why is everything written in English? So where am I from? I would say the US. What is... Oh, he's going to he's not taking Rayon? Altaf, are you going to take him? Just take him, love. They're going to Friday prayer.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Come.
They're going to take you. Love, is your dad waiting for you? Huh? This one's like really hard. I don't know, some of them are sweet, some of them, I think she should boil them next time. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I'll take my Shilajit on camera. And then I want to work out a little bit. I have one client today. It's Friday. No, so the dentist called me. It's tomorrow. They changed it. He looked at my scan. I had to get a 3D scan. And he basically went over like what and how we're going to do the implant. It shouldn't be that crispy. Yeah. Yeah. But the food here is a little bit different texture, Sarah, because like apples, if you buy them and you don't eat them within a week, they go bad, which is the way it should be. So the food here, because it's not heavily processed, or it's a little bit different, some of the texture of food as well. Which is, I've noticed. So the sweet potatoes here are actually harder than the sweet potatoes in the US. So I think boiling them would be the best because I don't have a air fryer because I want a glass one and I can't find a glass one here. So apples, they go bad. Like if you buy your fruit and vegetables and you don't eat them within a week, they go bad. But that's not the case in the US. Like you know that. Food never goes bad. And that's because of all the preservatives. And people wonder why the C word in the gut, colon C, is becoming so high. It's really sad. So one thing I would say all of y'all should add into your diet, it's so important, is go to the grocery store. I'm thinking, would it be at the grocery store or the drugstore? I don't know, or online. And you're going to want to get selenium husk, you know, the husk, the brown husk, a little bit of citrus pectin. That's also prebiotic fiber. That's my father-in-law. He's late for prayers and he's just like, so you do kefir, you add in a little bit of citrus pectin, a little bit of the husk. You can also do wheat germ in its natural form. That will have B vitamins. You mix it and you just kind of eat it. That will that will help feed the good gut bacteria. It's high in fiber. You need fiber because your gallbladder and liver release bile, and bile binds to the fiber and they help like kind of like sweep away the crap, and things do get stuck to your colon. If you don't believe me, after this live, look up mucoid plaque. I was able to get rid of my old black one. It was disgusting. It was jet black. Pectin you can get online. It's wonderful, Sarah. It really helps with blood sugar regulation in your ovaries, and you really want that because our ovaries are sensitive to insulin resistance and insulin, and we just don't know how well, if you don't have muscle mass or certain minerals or enzymes in your body, you might not be absorbing the blood sugar. So definitely, my teacher would say once every 6 months. He wasn't a fan. He was more a fan of coffee enemas, which I was kind of into. I've given up, but I was into coffee enemas for a while, and it did help me alongside other things like diet. So you definitely want to start releasing. Look into burdock root. It will start to thin the lymph. I don't know what you're eating that is causing your lymph to be that way, but also just add in castor oil and just start to massage it. Add castor oil. That will start to like kind of thin out that lymph. And every day, you just have to every day do it. I do it every night. I do it every single night. I also am a little extra, so I add in a little bit of gelatin powder. My favorite, because brand matters with certain things. Perfect Supplements. The reason I like them is it's from Brazilian cows grazing on Brazilian grass out in the sun. They're getting vitamin D, and the grass isn't sprayed with glyphosate. So a big tub will last you 8 months. I do a teaspoon of that. I mix it in. It has a weird texture, but honestly, I don't really mind it. You can add a little bit of honey. So kefir, I'm gonna buy wheat germ after this. I can't believe I forgot about that. Selenium husk, citrus pectin, a little bit of gelatin, wheat germ. You mix it like a yogurt. You can do a dash of honey if you want, and I have that at night. Yeah, like Metamucil. Yep, it's just fiber, just extra fiber because we need fiber. The brand was Perfect Supplements, and you can use code Abi Energy, ABI Energy. Abi is my last name, Energy. You can use code Abi Energy at the checkout. I love them. I've been using their brand 7 years now. Wow, I can't believe it's 2026. Almost. So yeah, you find a good brand and you stick with them. Just like Shilajit, you find a good brand and you stick with them. My brand's the best though. But with Perfect Supplements, their gelatin is the best. Okay, I'm almost done here. I didn't really finish. This was my toast left over. I'm gonna have a little bit of butter. See, everything is like, if you move to the Middle East, they still have Arabic writing. Everything here. This is a Pakistani company, Adams, a delicious. So it's hard to learn your language when everything's in English. That ingredients, milk cream, that's all. This was let me tell you how much this was. This was kg, so 2.5 pounds of butter. I paid, it was a little expensive, like $8. $8. No, wheat germ, I don't know. I don't know what, I'm just going to have to look online. I just remembered somebody was like, oh yeah, a friend took wheat germ when they got pregnant. I was like, oh my God, I used to take wheat germ. How did I forget about that? Like, I took that when I got pregnant with my son, not for pregnancy, but for gut health. Like, it's very high in B vitamins. Citrus pectin gelatin, grass-fed gelatin from Perfect Supplements. Hazel, use code ABI, ABI Energy for a discount. I'm going to use a lot of butter because I'm not scared of healthy fats. Yeah, wheatgrass is the grass that's disgusting. It tastes like grass. And wheat germ looks like it's the inner portion of the wheat hull, but not the type of wheat that has been genetically modified. Can you make pectin by boiling apple? I think you can because it either comes from citrus pectin or apple pectin. So yeah, I think you can. I don't know how. I would go on YouTube and find. Thank you. That butter's really creamy and good. Just a little bit more and I'm done. Now, because I had a lot of fat, I actually am going to take some sunflower lecithin right now. I bought some powder, and that just helps thin the bile. Because as we age, sometimes our bile gets thick. Gallstones, bile that has become calcified. So that just helps thin the bile so you can emulsify the fats so you can better digest them. So we're going to go do that right now. And I'm done breakfast. Thank the Lord. Thank you for this nourishing meal. May it Make me stronger, happier, and healthy. Yes. I'm going to go take a little bit. Now, you can get the oil as well, but I find that the powder lasts longer with this. No, HCl is more, it mimics your hydrochloric acid in your stomach, which as we age is not, or if we have too many gut issues, that's when that acid pathogens can take over. So I love HCl. I can't get a hold of it right now. I might go on iHerb. Oh, they restricted us again because we're talking about things. Oh my God. That is so wonderful, Genesis. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. What were you doing, my love? What were you doing? Can you share? Share some hope today. I'm so happy for you. I right now take a little bit of this before my meal. I'm not a fan of this. This can be too strong on your teeth, but it is what it is. Okay. I will show you the sunflower lecithin. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to eat with my mouth, talk with my mouth full. Okay. I'm gonna strain this because I'm making fresh kefir. I'm making fresh kefir. Yes, we will definitely do a prayer before I go. I'm taking my supplements now. I just ate. Yeah, I just started adding in kefir, my love, 3 weeks ago. For last year and a half, I had no dairy, but I definitely got rid of all my dampness, like all of it. So I'm fine, and I only do a cup room temperature. But for a year and a half, I haven't touched dairy, so it's been nice to add the kefir. My fridge is so bare. We definitely need to go to the grocery store. We are a family. Because we're a bit on a budget with prices of grocery worldwide. So we kind of make sure that we eat everything before we go to the store, and I really, really, really like that. It just makes you feel so proud. So this is the sunflower lecithin. I let my stomach get as much sunlight as possible. I also eat lots of fruits with antioxidants. That's wonderful. Did you take any supplements, my dear? What else? Wheat, sugar, anything cold, lots of ice. Your spleen doesn't like it. Definitely no dairy, fried food. So what you're probably thinking, what can I eat? Lots of like soups, steamed vegetables, steamed potatoes, meat, soups, lots of warming teas. Lots of warming teas. That's a little bit fried. That's cauliflower. This is going back in the fridge. So I made a batch of tea, and then the rest is going back in the fridge. Beans, Jobs tear is wonderful for, remember we spoke about that, will really drain the damp. So you can do porridge Jobs tear with some boiled egg on top for protein. All right, so I'm doing this. I just take a little bit like that. Okay, I'm done with that. So I always say have a wellness corner. You know, like this is at night, I just come here and I stand here, and that's my ritual. I do the husk. There's the citrus pectin, and then my shatavari is there, and then I walk over here. These are my son's Lay's chips. And I do a little bit of the Perfect Supplements gelatin powder. So I know exactly where everything is, and I just use it. Why are there so many mosquitoes in here? I got it. Okay. Now I'm going to take Shilajit and my vitamin D. I'm trying to remember. Pasta, definitely. You can do rice pasta, but pasta's a big, big no-no. Or konjac pasta, which is pure, it's a pure fiber. But you can do the little thin rice pastas. That's what I do in my soups, like noodle soup. Gelatin is an amino acid powder. It takes 7 or 13 amino acids. I don't know. Protein. So amino acids are little building blocks of a protein, and gelatin is just pure amino acids. So it really, you're getting that protein. Lentil, chickpea pasta, yep, those are good. But definitely with dampness, black beans are wonderful. But yeah, fiber is your friend. Okay, there's not much Shilajit left here because everybody in the household, especially these girls, they've been losing weight on it, so they're happy. But I don't know how much they're taking. I took sunflower lecithin. That is also to thin out your bile so you don't get gallbladder stones and you can better digest your fats. So I just had a lot of butter. Yay! So has your bloat gone down a little bit since you stopped drinking cold water? So I took this out of the freezer and I'm taking our Zor Shilajit for energy and minerals. I'm doing that right now. A little bit, yeah. You can have 1 slice a day like I just did. I also did, yay! Oh, that's wonderful. So you got your electrolytes in. Now, like I said, if you guys are super bloated, the Jobs tier, adding that to your porridge will really be helpful. So I cut off a little piece and I'm rolling it between my finger. That's a lot. I'm in my luteal phase. I'm not going to take that much because I don't need to. I'm just going to break it down a little bit more. It's like taffy right now, so I just want to, I don't need a lot. I just want a little bit. It's in my nail. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm taking this much today. No, my love. Once you're pregnant, Shilajit can detox the body, and we never ever want to detox or cleanse because it cleanses heavy metals. It binds to the heavy metals, and during pregnancy, we don't want to do that. We want to just nurture. Now, I took it in my 3rd trimester because I was just getting really tired. And by then, all of the organs, whatnot, were formed. So I took it towards the end of my 3rd trimester. That was Shilajit. That is my brand, Shilajit. It's mountain resin that will have all the minerals in it: iron, phosphorus, potassium, calcium. It's like God's multivitamin where man hasn't corrupted yet. I'm pretty sure they will find a way to corrupt that too, because that's what they do. They're just disgusting and they don't care about human beings. When I say they, I'm talking about the 0.001%. Okay. Do you need to be healthy on a health before? No, you don't. If anything, if it will just put you ahead of the game, even if you can't. Do you have a discount code? Yes, Abi Energy 10. Abi Energy 10. You can use that. You know, these tariffs have really, I don't know, are they trying to mess with small businesses? Like, first of all, the tariffs, it makes no sense because it's just making the price of everything go up. So I don't even understand. It's maybe a way to get rid of small businesses. I really don't know. Because less small businesses, more control. Do heavy metals for pregnant? No, yeah. I know of a friend really trying to get pregnant. So I do one-on-ones. I also have free guides on my website. I also have another TikTok account that's all fertility related. I did take a break from that because I was just not feeling it. I was just like, I don't, but I am going to come back and do it. Drop something. So the jobs to your porridge, you always just want to add good protein, egg or some chicken to it. That's what you want to do. What is the site called? AbiEnergy22.com. It's in my bio. Abi is my last name. Juan, spelled like Juan, is my first name, but it's pronounced Juan, and it means beautiful in Kurdish. And for years I was really ashamed because people were like, oh, Juan, especially living in California. So I used to spell it like Joanne. And then somebody told me, oh no, your name is like a master number when you calculate the two, the one that was on your birth certificate. So then I was like, in order to love and accept myself, I should love and accept my name. So that's why I put it on my social media. And people still, they go, is her name Abi? No, that's my last name. Because they're like, is her name Juan? No, it's Juan. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, you know what I mean. So always, because with carbs, Kim, rule of thumb, like this morning we had no eggs. All we had was toast and sweet potato. Now, had I had that first thing in the morning with no protein, I would be on a blood sugar roller coaster for the rest of the day, spikes, and then wanting more food. The fact that I had a lot of protein, I'm not looking for a snack. It's the snackety snacks that work. And then every time you have a snack, your body puts out insulin. And then eventually it's like, yo, I have too much insulin. And then your cells are like, I don't want any of this anymore. Insulin is like the key that unlocks your cell to push in glucose from the food you eat to give you energy. But when you have too many keys going around, the cells are like, forget it. Doors are shut. And that's when somebody can become insulin resistant. And when you have more muscle mass, your muscles are hungry, so they want more glucose. And that's where the whole workout for insulin resistance. Now, there are supplements that can help you become less insulin sensitive. Chromium is a B vitamin, chromium PTH form. There's a form. The one form is better than the other. Insulin, myo-inositol, that is for the insulin in your ovaries, because different areas are more sensitive. Shilajit is known to help you help with glucose regulation, getting sunlight, and then of course always pairing your carbs with fiber and protein and having that first. Having a little bit of ACV before your meals, all these little hacks, because we aren't living why are humans breaking down faster and faster? Our grandparents and our great-grandparents, they weren't sitting in front of a computer on the phone all day long. Cinnamon as well. They were more active. A lot of them, back in the day, it was Christmas time. We would go to the mall. We'd go Christmas shopping. All of that is slowly dying off. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's become more immobile. Then you have the aspect of our food quality is down the gutter. There's more chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and now they're even growing food in the lab where the food is not even getting the light energy from the Lord, from God. It's not getting those protons. So our food is weird, our lifestyle is weird. Then you have my teacher would call them burnout babies. So he said, babies born in the 80s onward, that generation will become weaker and weaker and weaker. And you see that with a lot of kids now. They don't look as vibrant. Their teeth are like translucent. They're definitely not calm. And if the mom didn't have enough nutrients, she can't give that to the baby. So it's important to get fiber, little hacks, citrus pectin, selenium pectin. It's important to get 20 minutes of sunlight. It's important to get red light. It's important to get your minerals in. If you're not getting your minerals in, Shilajit being one way, there's other ways, but I think that way is the fastest and strongest, then you're going to feel off. If you're not getting good quality sleep, you need to learn to break up with the phone. You know, I know it's hard. Sometimes we're in bed and we're scrolling, and all of a sudden you're scrolling and 1 hour went by. You're like, I'm going to go to bed early. I'm going to go to bed early today. And all of a sudden you're like, it's 11 o'clock. So parasites, you don't want to just do a cleanse and kill the parasites. Why you want to address why did you get parasites in the first place? Because you're going to get rid of some, you're not going to get rid of all. Number 2, parasites feed off of the heavy metals in your body. They like low vibrational things. So when you forcefully poison them, they release everything back into your system. You're back at square one. Parasites, you have bad low stomach acid, parasites, so you want them to leave on their own. And I've had many parasites come out over the years. Well, how do you leave when you start raising your vibration? How do you do that? Again, when you start eating super clean, one thing when I would add in and take minerals, I would notice a lot of them die. Usually during Ramadan, I see them a lot. They come out, but because during Ramadan, I eat really clean, but radishes. For some reason, radishes. Don't we all have? We all have them. It's just when they're part of the ecosystem. It's just when there's more of the bad guys and not the good guys. Do you understand? But I would say before you jump into a parasite cleanse, first change your habits, your eating habits, get some minerals, get some sunlight. Then when you have more cellular energy, okay, then go in for a cleanse. Get in the sauna to sweat out the heavy metals. Like, do those first, because once they die off, they're going to release all that crap back into your system, and you're still going to get parasites are everywhere. One thing you want to do is when you're at a public restroom, really, really important. Sometimes we need to use a public restroom. When you flush, always put the cap down. I just use my feet. I mean, whatever. That flushing, you don't want that. Even in your own bathroom, never ever keep your toothbrush in the bathroom. Do you see that? My bathroom's over there by that door. My toothbrush is here. Why is that? Even when you flush, all those particles are coming. You don't want that. So always flush with the lid on. Even with the lid, you still get particles they've done studies. But parasites, pets, anywhere, like it's just we share a world with them. You can't avoid them. But what you can do is make your terrain stronger, getting a good digestive enzyme into your body. So when you do eat them, they won't be able to thrive. Why do people have ginger and wasabi, the Japanese, with sushi, raw fish? That was to help would build their stomach acid, so the parasites on that raw fish wouldn't be able to survive in them after that meal. So having a digestive enzyme, all these things, I got H. pylori after my baby was born. I think, breastfeeding, not sleeping, your immune system's low, living in a third world, it just happened. I did a whole 6-month protocol. I forgot. I took HCl licorice root. I took L-reuteri. I took slippery elm. I forgot the protocol, but I was on a pretty hefty protocol and my symptoms went away. I haven't retested. I mean, I could, but my symptoms went away and that was enough for me. And I was like, okay. It was at the time, I do remember HCl enzyme, oregano, oil of oregano, and I would do that every night. I would sit there. I remember I put everything in a little plastic bin, my little herbs, and I would sit out before brushing my teeth. I would do it and I'd take a shot at night. And I did that for 6 months, and I feel like I got better. But yeah, antibiotics probably will cause, it's harder to get rid of them with antibiotics. I'm taking my vitamin D right now, D3K2, and a little bit of selenium. Yeah, I did. I haven't done the test again. Any advice? Lots of warm soups, Keep your feet warm. You can still get sunlight. Keep your feet warm. I just took selenium and vitamin C. Sunflower lecithin, Shilajit. I took during my Shilajit, sunflower lecithin, jujube tea with goji berries. Can we do Moxa on your own? It's difficult. Yeah, I do Moxa. I'll show you. I've been doing it every night because I'm in my luteal phase. At night, my feet get cold, and if you have cold feet, that means cold womb. So I have this on my other TikTok shop. If you guys want the link after this live, you can DM me. I can send you the link. But this is what it looks like. I think it comes with 100. It comes with 100 of these. It's 100 of these. Yeah, you definitely want to be using this on the bottom of your feet. So I do 5 minutes here. Just know that it's very strong smell. It will be just sunflower lecithin. That's all you need. So you take this out. Obviously, I've been using it. There's a little bit of soot. It is a very strong smell when you use it. I don't seem to mind it. To me, it smells like Mary Jane. Cigarette smoke? It smells like Mary Jane and tobacco mixed together. It's a smoky smell. It's mugwort. So I did it yesterday. We're just gonna... Okay. So you would put this, you can place a little bit of ginger under here, a thin slice of ginger. You don't have to do that. So there's a little thing here. And you put it in, you light it up. It's mugwort, it's an herb. It's the mugwort herb. And you leave this open. And then you would then put it on for fertility points, not in the luteal phase. You would do right here when you're not after ovulation. Here for gut issues, especially if you have bloat, definitely the bottom of your feet if you're cold, lower back right here, that area that hurts when we have PMS. And then for bloating, you go right on the outer four fingers, and then this area right here, 3 fingers above your inner ankles. And you just rotate, and I usually do it, I will put a movie on at night, or The Housewives, you know, while I'm watching TV. It's just so relaxing. It feels like a warm compress, and you can just stays. Okay? Best investment ever. Okay, I'm gonna go. We're gonna say a quick prayer. As always, so it just burns out. It just burns out. You should wash it every 10 uses because sometimes it gets a little thick. I started Qigong for stars. How do you like it? I love it. I just do a little bit every day. This one's for the liver. And I always envision, I'm always envisioning this light coming over me. It's called a Moxa. You can DM me. I have it on my other TikTok account, but I can DM you my video and the link is there. It's on TikTok shop. I think it's on sale right now for $12 and you get 100. Now, if you were to go to the acupuncturist, one session's like $40, $50. So you literally can do 100 sessions for a couple cents in the comfort of your own home. I do have free guides on my website, and is it shipped everywhere? That I don't know. If it's not shipped everywhere, then you can also find it online. Temu, or I mean, it comes from Alibaba, or, I'm sure the one from TikTok shop is coming from China. Nothing special about it. It's just mugwort. It's not like a certain supplement where, you need to make sure that it's a good quality brand and it's not diluted. No. All right. Thank you all. And we're going to say a quick prayer. I asked the Lord to help me become the best version of myself, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. But you need to... okay, I'm getting a little tired. I think I have a guide on my website, but it starts with getting rid of the dampness. There's enzyme called serapeptase that will help. I asked the Lord to release everything from my life that is no longer working in my highest good. Every thought, every emotion, every person, every habit, every food. Replace it with the highest form of self-love for myself, my community. Help me have a strong, precious, happy baby. Help everybody on this live who asks and calls upon you. Answer their prayers. Help all mothers who are asking for the gift of a child. Bless them with a beautiful child that will make this world a better place. Amen. And something good will happen to all of us today. I'm so grateful to be alive. Thank you. I think I will I can put this live on my YouTube page. Everything is Abi Energy 22 if you want to follow me on other platforms. I do post different content on different platforms. So thank you. Bye.